don't need to know that. You don't need to know that.
That makes it personal.
It's mistakenly not getting my number.
Okay. You gonna start now?
Yeah.
Wicked. Okay.
What about before tattoo? What were you doing?
Mechanics, being a waiter, plumbing.
Also, you tried all these manual jobs.
Yeah,
need something manual done at the studio.
Sitting on my arse seems to be the best. Sitting on my arse seems to be the best thing for me. I found that now.
He cut his finger unscrewing a screw one day when we were changing the workstations. It was a scratch. It was literally a scratch. Yeah.
Wall rings, yeah?
What?
Wall rings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, battle scars.
I don't ask him to do anything that requires manual labour at all.
Painted the shop.
You painted a bit of the shop. And you got it on the ceiling.
I've been an artist since I was 5, a chef for 26 years, and literally fell into tattooing just because
how does that work for being a chef?
one of the girls at work asked me about one of my tattoos and how her son could do it, and I kind of went, I'll have a look on the internet, and everything went, go to a studio, talk to a proper artist, do it properly, and kind of a light bulb went on, and I went, shh, forget her, I'm going down, and I literally went down to my studio, kind of promoted myself and went, I want to do this, and you know, the boss man went, show me some artwork.
That's what you did.
I was a carer.
You were a carer?
Yeah, I was a carer. I was doing I was working my way towards doing a nursing degree.
Really?
Yes.
You're being serious?
Yes. I used to look after autistic kids.
Oh, that's amazing. Quite a few of my friends do that.
Do they?
Ah, yeah.
Are they like that? Yeah.
And then did you do anything beforehand, or was it you always just
I was a landscaper for
landscaper.
10 years, and then I watched Miami Ink for that shit. And bought a kit off eBay and started tattooing my friends, pretty much. So it was good. And then I met Eugene, started getting tattooed by Eugene at his shop that he was working at, and yeah, he inspired me to do better tattoos instead of just normal flash tattoos. You know, he showed me, look, you can make these tattoos look real and things like that, you know. So from there, I started getting better, and that's where we are today. You know?
How long have you been tattooing for?
I graduated my apprenticeship in 2001. So, what, 13 years, I guess, since I've been a full-fledged tattooer. I did my first tattoo on myself in 1984.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was a piece of shit. I was like 13 years old and thought I was punk rock with a safety pin, and we sat around and tattooed each other.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with it, man. I absolutely love tattooing.
So have you always been a tattoo artist?
No, I'll give you like the 30-second Derek life story. When I was 18, went to college, 19, joined the Army, 21, went to college, went back to school, majored in art, and then I worked in the college. I taught this class of sculpture and ceramics to blind people, which was really kind of a cool experience, trying to teach them to do that. And then taught high school for a year and realized I absolutely hate kids. And I love my own kids. I actually don't hate kids. I just hated teaching kids. I'm not a good
Teenagers
teacher.
As well.
Yeah.
That's the worst years to get them.
Yeah. I'm a very independent person, so I'm not a good, helpful person. And I sound like such a I don't mean to, you know. And then I literally went from teaching, and then I was wearing a suit and tie, working in an office as a financial advisor of all things, and I hated my life. And then my mom died of cancer, and I went in to get a tattoo, and one of the guys that I was friends with in life was the tattooer, and I just never left the shop, man. I brought him lunch, I hung out, and then his shop I couldn't get an apprenticeship at, but I learned enough, and in that time I got like 250 hours of work on myself. And so,
from yourself?
Yeah, from him, you know, and we just sit and talk, and I just watch him and learn and draw, and I moved like 100 miles away and got an apprenticeship and it's kind of all she wrote.
Martin came on as an apprentice though. 2.5 years ago, and now he's worked up 2.5 years to where he is now, which is a big achievement.
So why the change?
I left college. I left college and I always wanted to be either a carer or a tattooist. So I took a year out to find an apprenticeship, and in the meanwhile just kept doing caring and found an apprenticeship. So I stopped caring.
Stop caring.
Don't care anymore.
Just don't care anymore, no.
My tattoo career so far has been quite brief.
Yeah.
Like I only started two years ago. Been in London about a year and a half.
Okay.
Maybe 2.5 years I started to be in London.
I'm trying to relax you.
Been in London for like a year and a half, and it's from Blackpool. Worked. Eventually just moved my way down. Well, actually, I came down one day just as a normal day, and he just goes, "Oh yeah, do you want a job?" So 2 months later, I just moved down. Ship up. And
He made that sound so brief. He came down. Yeah, he just came down for the day, but he brought his portfolios with him. The day out in London, he brings his portfolios.
well, just in case I wanted to guest book, I'd like to travel.
Just in case.
Yeah, because I've always
You
been
have to be
stuck.
prepared, you know.
Yeah, I've always been stuck in Blackpool. I've never moved anywhere. So I was like, yeah, why not?
You wanted to leave,
Try
didn't
it.
you?
Yeah, more than anything.
He pretty much begged me at the door.
Really?
Pretty much begged me at the door.
Well,
Like,
he's
he
sleeping in the morning.
He showed me his portfolio, and I just thought, he's a wicked artist. So I was like, yeah, I want to take it. How's it out there today? I was pretty successful when I was wanting to be a tattooist.
Yeah.
Went to work, saw shit shops, learned how not to tattoo. Then went and found out how to tattoo.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I've been doing since. And now I need him around to make sure that I can still do that.
Yeah, I started tattooing like a few years ago. I was 11 years old when I just picked up my first machine. Obviously it was just for fun. And when I reached the age of 17, that's what I thought, okay, I'm gonna be a good tattooist, And then, I'm here, so I've been tattooing for a long time now.
How have you guys been together?
Not that way.
We've been 6 years apprenticing, and then we kind of ended up after 3 years getting our own studio. So it's been 6 years in the making so far.
So you trying everything you know?
No, he's not my apprentice. We apprenticed together at a different studio, and that's how we got together. And we were then, I'd say we were approached to buy into another studio, and that's how we got to own our own place. So it's been,
That's cool, you both kind of did it at the same time.
Again, he was in piercing, I was a customer, and it just so happened that it all kind of came together at the right time. So it's been a rough journey. It's been up and down, but still at it, still enjoying it. So I love it.
When did you guys actually get into tattoos?
I've been in the industry since probably about 16 years old. So
Is that where you started being a piercer?
yeah. Well, saying that I was hanging around with a few piercings and stuff and getting into it. I hit 18 and I was piercing full time from that point onwards.
And I didn't pick up a machine till I was 40, so 6 years in, loving it.
In the beginning it was really difficult because it was no really good machines, And I used to remember I used to make my own needles, And it was hard in the beginning, It was a lot of ego involved in the community, and I don't really like that, And I think I think tattoo should be like freedom, like try to be more.
So were you heavily tattooed and stuff before?
I didn't have any.
You didn't have any? So what drew you to it if you didn't have
Well,
any?
I always did art. I always did art through school. I always did art through college. I did art at college. I got a D. But
You didn't?
No, it was all the writing.
Oh, okay.
I did a lot of writing about it.
Yeah.
What? That's it.
That was it.
Pretty much, just as it is.
That's it. How did you get into it?
In tattooing, I had tattoo done in Latvia, and tattooist inspired me, just asking, because I did design for my tattoo, and he asked who did it. I said I did myself, so he said, why not doing tattoos, So I started thinking about that, and then had apprenticeship.
Yeah. I mean, I love tattooing. I'm not much of a people person, so when I meet people that I get on with and can sit and chat with, it's just a cool part of life that I'm not used to, because I'm kind of a dick. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be, I'm antisocial, by choice. So everybody looks at tattooers and they're like, oh, these tough guys, and man, tattooers are the biggest group of dorks I've ever met in my life, and I love it. Like we sit around with our toys and our comics and our Xboxes and our pencils, and
Sunday, 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
It's the only way to get better, I'm afraid. It's to put the hard work in, and it's something that when we got together, we decided that that's where it was going.
It's keeping the work moving as well. Otherwise, you end up stacked up 6 months in advance, and you just can't get anybody in. So you run 7 days a week if you enjoy it. It's no hardship, I feel. To come in and do what you love. Obviously you've got to take your time, your own time. You need to chill out and stuff. 7 days a week is definitely stuck.
Tired already.
February, like artists, when it's done, you've got experience, so you can do better, So everything that you've done is already, in the past.
Yeah, outdated.
It looks like
To us, it does.
You're like giving up on doing names and stars and that
yeah, I haven't done a star in years, unless it's part of a massive piece. And it's not that I'm a prima donna better than that with doing that stuff. I just don't have time. I mean, I pretty much only do all day booking. So I mean, people either book in 4 or 8 hours with me. I rarely do like a 2-hour booking. So it's come in for 8 hours. You're not getting stars.
That's a lot of stars.
Unless it's one big one.
So what about bad tattoos? Have you had to do like any?
Every single one he does.
Every single one he does.
I got in every 4 weeks. You're too slow at the comeback, so I have to get in there first. What about him, sorry?
What about?
Have you ever had to save any really bad tattoos?
Yes.
Tell me.
This is too many at a time.
Yeah, man, that's hard.
We're in London. There's so many bad tattoos walking around. You can go and see sort of one a
People's
week.
drunk holiday tattoos, something on their arse, they want covering up, something on their arm. Oh, mate did a bit of tribal in his back garden, and you're thinking, oh, it's a smile.
With a spade and some watered down mud.
Dwayne tired me last week, but I'm not happy with it. You do this, don't worry about it.
But that guy was annoying. I didn't like him anymore. But I'm joking. No, but you get sort of one a week coming in London. So there's more than that.
Sort of thought was, tribal. But I've seen so many different kinds of tribal and so many different techniques and styles of it now that my mind's just completely open to it. Like, the only thing I don't particularly like is the harsh black swabs. It's very rare that you find someone that does a good job of it, like properly.
Solid black.
But I wouldn't say I hate it. I wouldn't say that, I don't want to see it anyway. If it's done well, then fine. That's great.
I'm not a very hateful person.
No, never.
It's a journey. It's a collection. I never cover up a photo and just keep adding to it. If you've made a bad choice, I think you should live by that. Personally, I do cover ups all the time, mine, but getting rid of stuff on heaven sleeves, religious themes.
Yeah, religious theme stuff is a bit shit now. Everyone wants it.
It is.
Every chav comes in wanting a religious sleeve, don't they? And they all bring the same picture of that Virgin Mary and her praying hands, rosary beads hanging off there.
And
then you ask them if they're religious, and they probably say no. So it's just getting
Probably inspired by David Beckham.
Yeah, probably inspired by David Beckham. But yeah, it's just getting a bit old now. We like people to come in and what they're interested in doing.
Have you ever had to talk someone out of getting a tattoo?
Yeah, all the time, every day we do it. People still come in for tribal,
Yeah.
Tribal something with mates, but it's not that, it's just because if you look at our work, you're not going to see any tribal there. And people come in and say, wow, we love your work, it's f***ing awesome, I'm looking for a tribal piece. oh mate, you've had a butcher's at our work, you can't go and get tribal off us, you know. So we talk them round and just try and educate them a bit more on what other stuff they can get, you know.
Yeah, most of the time it's just because they haven't seen
they haven't.
other styles. It's because they don't know. It's not because they really want tribal, they really want a religious tattoo. It's just that they've seen those tattoos on people and know that it is socially acceptable to have those tattoos, and they don't know about any famous artists, they don't know other styles and things like that. They've never seen good tattoos before, really.
What's the funniest tattoo that you've ever had to do? Strangest?
I've done when I first started, the guy had a big birthmark on his leg and I turned it into a Mr. Potato Head.
The Jesus and Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary sniffing along the coke.
But Jesus was holding
the
plate. Have you guys done anything like that?
I've done a porky pig on someone's ass, that's about it.
Porky pig?
Nothing special, really.
I did Jesus show.
Jesus, yeah.
With his finger.
That was good as well. Yeah, that was quite cool.
Yeah.
Pingu fishing out of a man's crack. Pingu with a little bucket of fish, and he had a little fishing rod, and the line was going right down his crack, so he was like fishing out of a man's bum. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. I enjoyed the pain, you know, on his part more. He's a wally. Yeah.
What about the most random tattoo you've had to do?
I tattooed my penis.
You tattooed your
I've done a
penis?
realistic vagina on the foot.
A realistic vagina?
We should have got a picture of my penis next to that vagina.
Yeah.
That would have been cool.
Totally
I don't think Harold would like that though. Just
I'm not asking about Harold's opinion. Why do I care about Harold's opinion? Yeah.
There you go, how about that?
Yeah.
So why is there a realistic vagina on the foot?
It was his,
It's the guy, isn't it? His first tattoo.
His first
He wanted his foot, and then he's gonna get a
I'll explain the story a little bit.
bit.
I'll explain the story a bit better. He was a work experience boy that we had because I tattooed his brother, and he wanted to sort of get to know more about the industry, so he came as like an exception to help out. So we said when he turned 18, we'd always do his first tattoo. So when he came in, that was his first tattoo. It was like, who wants to do it? I was working at a convention, so Marcus did it.
I'll do it.
And it's really bad because you can't even post that on Facebook because it'll get taken down.
Oh, I didn't think of that. So was it modelled on anyone?
No, he was in the shop just looking for like a tumbler. I think it was close-up shots or something. He was just going through. Anyone who walked in is like, yo, what's up? He's just sat there in the shop.
It was really funny. It just looked like we were watching porn because the whole computer screen was just taken over with pictures of Fanny's everywhere. And that was before it was even done, so you can imagine what it was like.
It's not even like you can hide. It's not even like you can hide that one either. You can't pussyfoot around it.
Oh, well done there. You got that one in.
Yeah, that's my weirdest one.